ingredients I'm using, I've got a pan here with water, sugar and salt. I've got 3 eggs beaten up there in a jug. I've got plain flour, a bowl and a whisk. And I think that's all we need. A pan of water, sugar and salt, put it on the heat. I'm putting the butter in as well. And when the butter melts, then I'm going to turn up the heat and bring the whole lot to a fast boil. So we've got it boiling, and then I'm going to take it off the heat and immediately, well, let's get the camera on, in with the flour. And I've got my wooden fork again, and I'm just going to keep stirring until this comes together into a thick paste and starts to leave the sides of the pan. Can you see? Now here we are, I've got a thick paste. Now lots of recipes will say start to add your egg, but this is still very, very hot, and if I start adding egg in here, the eggs are going to cook immediately. So I transfer this hot paste into a separate bowl, into a cold bowl. I've finished with my wooden fork now, and what I'm going to do, just to help cool it down a little bit, is to start whisking it in this bowl. Can you see the steam coming off? So I'm not going to start adding the egg yet. I'll just leave it a few more minutes. Okay, so after that little interlude, we're still warm, but it's fine to start adding the egg. Now, we might not need all the egg, and this is the crucial bit. It's about understanding when you've got the right consistency for your choux. So we'll start adding the egg just a little bit at a time and whisking it in. And I'll show you exactly what the consistency needs to be. Give it a drop more. Now, can you see that V hanging off my whisk? That's what we're looking for. When you lift your whisk out, or your spoon, you'll need a V hanging from, then you know you've got exactly the right consistency. If it was all dropping off the whisk, that's too much egg. If you didn't get that fall, then you need more egg. I hope that helps you, but this is crucial. I've not used all of my egg. Can you see how much I've got left? Maybe a tablespoon. I'll just load this paste into a piping bag. Now I've fitted a star nozzle to this piping bag because I find it more successful to pipe choux with a star nozzle. I think you get a better rise because I think the dough manages to keep its shape better. But you can use a plain round nozzle if you like. Got that in there. Find it easy to load it. I've got 2 hands free if I put the piping bag in a jug. Choux absolutely adores steam to help it rise. So I've given this baking sheet, fitted with a piece of reusable baking parchment, a spray over with this water spray, and then so that I can mark my little choux buns and eclairs, I've got a bench scraper here that's about 5 inches long and a little pile of flour there, and then what I'm going to do is just dip that in the flour, and that will become my marker on this tray. Can you see? Maybe you can't see on this. Oh, that one's a bit better. So I'll get 6 to a tray. Just redo those again so you can see. I'll just pipe on my 6 eclairs. Might need a knife just to help you release it at the end. That's it. Now if you weren't very good at releasing your dough at the end, you can always get a wet finger and just neaten up the end. The dough will not stick to your finger if it's wet. And if you want to get ahead, these can go in the freezer like this, and then when they're frozen, take them off the paper and put them in a bag, and then bake them from frozen when you want them. But I'm going to bake these now. The next lot I think I might freeze. If you want to make profiteroles, again, if you're going to bake them now, spray over the tray with water, but I'm going to freeze these because I don't need them all today. So I'll not spray the tray with water. I'm just going to pipe them onto here, freeze them, and then put them in a bag and then bake them from frozen at some time when I want them. And all you do for a profiterole is sort of, imagine you're piping onto a cupcake or something. You just want to be like that. As I say, if your finger's wet, it'll not stick. So here we are. These have had 18 minutes exactly. And what I'm going to do whilst they're still hot is I'm just going to prick them underneath. Two reasons for that. One is to let any steam escape. They're a bit hot. And secondly, they're going to be the holes where I'm going to put the filling later on. I'll be making them bigger, but I'm just making a start whilst the choux is hot and a bit softer. So I'm going to fill these eclairs from the underneath. I'm making these little holes bigger that I made right at the beginning. But the trouble is, if you're going to fill an eclair underneath, how do you know you've got enough filling in there? So what I do is I fill it on the weighing scales, and then I can see how much weight, and about 25 grams per eclair is enough. Now then, this little syringe thing, I actually bought this for Bake Off, but it should have a long nozzle, a long thin nozzle, which is perfect for getting into those little holes, but I can't find it. So I'm using just a plain nozzle. You can use a piping bag with a nozzle, and then what I'm going to do is just push, weigh it, 6 grams, push, weigh it, 16 grams, and in the last one, push, weigh it, 28 grams. So that's fine.